Well, hello everybody. Welcome to P.B.M. Money. Today I decided I'm going to have a little bit of fun. It seems like all the finance guys on YouTube have suddenly become fortune tellers. I don't know how that happened, but I decided, shoot, if they can do it, I can do it too. That's why we call this crystal ball time. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the market crash and when it's going to turn around. And so I figured I'd get in my 2 cents worth. And I'll tell you, nobody knows the answers. Nobody knows the future. Nobody has a clue. But there are certain clues along the way that if you pick the right clues at the right time and you're able to project them out, you might be able to make an accurate guess or two. And up to this point, and I have made videos to document this all along the way. I said the crash was coming 6 or 8 months ago. I said it wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. I said it would be fast, it would be hard, it would be long. And I did a video on that. And then when it hit on the 1st of November, when everybody else was calling it tax loss harvesting, I said, no, the crash is here. This is the beginning. And by the end of November, everybody jumped on board saying, oh, this might be the crash. Then the end of December came when tax loss harvesting was over and the market should have turned around and it didn't. Now they're all saying the crash is here. Well, welcome to the party, pal. I said it 2 months earlier. Now, when I look at the market and first off, I am no market expert, by the way. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. This is just taking the things that I have seen, I have learned along the way, and just certain feelings that I have. But I am going to say a few things that nobody else has really taken into account. First off, it is true that history says when a market crashes, and it crashes pretty good, the average time that it's down is 89 days. That's true. And 89 days, or 3 months, from the 1st of November would be the 1st of February. November, December, January, and then the 1st of February. Well, this one obviously is not normal because it's still, as I record this, it's the 20th of February and it's still considerably down. In fact, Friday's market was down quite a bit, so it's still got some way to go. Now, all the YouTubers are predicting that this is going to go up pretty quick, and it's going to turn around pretty quick. If they're using any statistical data at all, which I'm sure they are, they're looking at normal crashes. Let me explain to you why this is not a normal crash. Since, gosh, I don't even remember, back when Obama was president, the Fed has been dumping trillions of dollars in the market to prop it up. And when I say they're dumping trillions of dollars, I mean on a weekly or monthly basis, they were buying billions of dollars in treasury. And what that means is they were printing money, basically, to prop the market up, keeping interest rates down to zero. I don't want to get too technical, but all that does is it's kind of like using smoke and mirrors to keep everybody's confidence up. The last trick they tried to pull out of the bag and use was when Papa Powell from the Fed came out and said, we're going to keep inflation under control. We're not going to let it get the best of you. And I remember thinking at the time, that old joke, when the federal government comes to say, we're here to help you, grab your wallet because you're about to get robbed. So when he said, we're here to protect you from inflation, what that told me was get prepared because inflation's coming big time. And he had been singing that song for the last 4 months before the crash. That's why I knew it was pretty close. Now, the downturn started when the Fed turned around and said that they were going to eliminate the bond purchasing and the printing of the money by March. That's next month. Now, if you take billions and billions and billions of dollars out of circulation within a 3-month period in an economy our size, that's going to have a ripple. And they've been doing it for years and years and years. I'm going to guess at least a decade, because I'm going to guess that they did that probably in 08 and 09 is when it started. That's, how long is that? 12, 13, 14 years? They've been pumping that much cash in, artificially keeping that market up. Now you're going to automatically take that much cash out of the market within a 3-month period, and you expect that market to turn around pretty quick. Well, one of the things that the YouTubers are saying is that the market has already got that priced in. I doubt that. I doubt that seriously. Nobody, especially people that have only been in the market for the last decade or two, nobody knows what that looks like. 90 days is probably the average down on a crash that is a normal crash. This is not normal. This is a self-inflicted gun wound. This should have happened, the crash should have happened back in 08, 09, 010, and it did go down. But it never did go down. And at the time I was doing a series of videos, and I said at the time, if the federal government, if I'm a bank and the federal government is going to give me money and say, here, go loan this and you can keep the interest, do you think I'm going to make loans? Heck yeah. And that's when the banks started using that cash for credit card bonuses and checking accounts and savings accounts, but they weren't making loans. Okay? I say all of this to prove to you that by using normal metrics, using normal history, and projecting out is not going to work, because this is not a normal crash. This is one that's been in the making for the last 10 or 12 years, and what's about to happen and what has been happening, in my opinion, is going to be a long, drawn-out, hard, bumpy ride. Now, let me say up front that in the recent video I did, I said that it should turn around in March, depending on what actions the Biden administration takes. As of this moment, in my opinion, the Biden administration is making the right choice by ending the bond purchasing and the printing of the cash. That is the right choice. However, I do feel like they are going about it in the wrong way, at the wrong speed. and I said in the video 10 or 12 years ago, they do need to raise basis points, because if it goes back down later on, the Fed needs to have some tools in their belt to be able to combat it. Right now, I mean, if money is at zero cost or thereabout, and now we have a recession, they can't deal with it by lowering costs and inflating cash, because they've been doing that all along. All that's going to do is make it worse. So, no matter which way they go, the investors in the market and in the economy and us as an American people, we're going to have to endure some pain. The Biden administration has, so far, been talking about doing it quickly. I disagree. In my opinion, they should be doing it. They should be doing it gradually. They should be doing it quietly, and just gradually pull the money out. They should have been doing this 8 years ago. They did not. They should have started, this current administration should have started as soon as he came in and just done it quietly, and nobody would have known, and the market would have fluctuated, it would have leveled out, it might even have gone down, but at this point they would have several points that they could play with in their belt. Right now they got nothing. Now, we are towards the end of February. The market is still in the crash mode. The free fall has not stopped, and the pain has not stopped. What do I see in the future? Well, again, depending on how Biden administration handles this. If they carry out what they say they're going to do and end the quantitative easing by March, that means, in my opinion, that the pain will be painful through March, and then it's going to get rougher, because now the market will know exactly how hard it is to have overvalued stocks and an overvalued market and an overheated market without all of that quantitative easing. So I think in the very short future, it might level out a little bit. I think at the end of March, beginning of April, it's going to take another dive down. And when that one goes down, that's going to be tough, because there's going to be a lot of businesses that are going to go out. Right now, there are some businesses out there, specifically small and mid-cap businesses, that are hanging on by a thread. And if they start to recover and start doing what they need to do to recover, and then 2 or 3 months later they get hit with another downturn, they won't have the wherewithal to stick with it. So I'm saying it might level off. I think it'll be a bumpy road between now and the end of March, beginning of April, but I do believe it will be a march down. And then when the market feels what it's like to not have that cash being printed and automatically thrown at them, then it's going to go down another big bunch in April. And the amount that it goes down will depend on the speed with which the Biden administration carries this out. If, however, the Biden administration backs off and does it in a quiet, measured, long-term way, the market will level out, in my opinion. It'll have a slow march down. The pain will be drawn out longer, but it won't be as devastating. In either event, no matter how it turns out, in my opinion, you cannot take billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars out of the market and expect it to recover anytime soon. I think after the free fall is done, which in my opinion is probably going to be another 3 months minimum, and it starts its recovery, I think it'll be a few months to level out till everybody's convinced that the free fall has stopped. And then I think it's going to take another year or two to get the market back on stable footing with accurate prices on their stocks, accurate valuations on the businesses, and to get back to business as usual. I think this is a year or two project, and I don't think the pain is anywhere near over. Now, what would I do? That's for another video. This is just fun for crystal ball time. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope the market does turn around and bounce back, and I hope that the money that is in the market has somehow priced it in. I don't even know what that means, but I hope that I'm wrong, but I don't think so. This crash has been in the making for the last decade and a half. It's been propped up by smoke and mirrors and cash and purchases and just a lot of smoke and mirrors. And you can't do that for a decade and then expect it to be over in a couple of months. No way. So that's my prediction. That's my crystal ball vision. Actually, I like that title better. Crystal ball vision. Yeah, I think we'll keep it crystal ball time. That's about all I wanted to say. You guys have a great day, a great week, happy investing, and let's hope I'm wrong.